All right, welcome back, folks, to more 1v1 actions. But this one's going to be fun. We've got Cody in the red corner while I stare at the blue corner. Always smart. Who is, for those that don't know, was a StarCraft player. He was playing a little bit competitively, playing some of the lower-end tournaments. French Terran player, in fact. And currently ranked 5th on the Age of Empires 4 leaderboard, up against Diva. I'm going to call him Diva because I've clearly been playing too much Age of Empires before it's actually DVA. But he is ranked 39th right now. And the cool thing about this one that I'm excited for, guys, is it's a Mongol versus Mongol matchup, which means, are we going to get TC rushes? Who's it going to be? What's the outcome going to be? I'm excited for it. I always love mirror matchups because especially when we talk about this asymmetrical balancing, we usually talk about how certain factions match up really well against others. I usually use England versus France as a good example. I think France tends to have the advantage. France on like any map, any C map we see is another example of a powerful advantage. Like that's actually one I use as a reference. When we saw France versus France mirror matchup on C, whenever we've seen France versus someone else on the archipelagos, they tended to try and night rush onto the enemy's base. But when we saw that matchup, it was solely just hulks, right? So it's kind of curious to see if either of them would try for a TC rush, but it looks like they're probably not going to. I think if they are, it's 1 or 2 more workers, and that's it. Usually, I think we see them stop at 9, and then they rush across. Because I believe 9 workers is the magic number to like sustain spearman production, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe we don't see that. Like it's a risky all-in cheese. It could be effective against Mongols to a certain extent just because they can't like palisade wall to protect themselves. But the problem is when you're up against another Mongol player, if you were to try and TC rush him, oh no, you've TC rushed me. Moves TC away. Or goes across to enemy base and TC harasses them instead. Like there's so many weird interactions. So I don't know if that's what we're going to see here. Just a reminder, Uzukoti, by the way, he's the one that's ranked 5th. So he's doing pretty well. Just to give you an example of how many games he's played. So Diva has only played, I think, about 30 games at this point. Uzukoti's up to 54. But he's been on a burner. 44 wins, 10 losses. Hence why he's up here with people like Ji Wei, who's played over 230 games total so far. I tell you, the win streak advantage is huge. So huge that I've seen multiple players making Smurf accounts that they're not even subtle about. They literally have their name in the Smurf account just to try and keep up in these top rankings. But Uzukoti, I think, has been doing a reasonable amount of Mongols, but there's some diversity. I think he primarily has been playing Mongol and France from what I saw in his match history, though. So this seems to be what he's comfortable with. So he should kind of know the opening orders at this stage with a few games under his belt, and he should kind of know what to expect from his opponent. And what he's going to have to expect is, right now, it looks like Diva's spamming scouts. What? He's spamming scouts? Okay, this I haven't seen before. I've seen, like, the horseman spam, but not the scout spam. That one I'm unfamiliar with, I'm afraid. What is the plan here? Because scouts will get ripped apart very... I mean, like, the raise damage isn't bad, right? So is he trying to snipe the Uvu? Yeah, the Uvu's not protected. This could actually work. This is weird, but very interesting as well. And it's cool as well, because Uzukoti has gone greedy. He went eco. Like, look, right now, he's put his pastures underneath the Uvu, because when a pasture's underneath an Uvu, it produces sheep at an amplified rate. So, Diva has scouted this out, and as a result, it's just scout spamming him right now. This is a new kind of cheese. I mean, we've seen TC rush, guys. I don't think I've ever seen the scout rush, though. And he's going to get through this Uvu pretty quick. Like, the value so far for Uzukoti's been, yeah, you maybe got, like, 1 sheep. And that's going to be it. So he's building an outpost now. This is a cool concept, though, right? Because scouts are absolutely terrible at fighting units directly. But their raise damage is 10 per hit. So if you can burn 1 or 2 buildings for a 60 food investment per scout, it's actually not that bad. So outpost is going to be constructed, but I'm pretty sure the Uvu is going to just be burnt before that even occurs. And the Uvu, in terms of cost, is 150 wood. So no small price. It looks like he's going to back away, though. Interesting he didn't fully commit the scouts. If he brings in 8, I think he finishes this off quick enough, but... yeah, here they come again. So now he's saying, Uzukoti, if you want to defend this, you're going to have to keep garrisoning, buddy. And instead, he moves across to burn down the outpost. But this is not a good play. He needs to back away. He's in range of the TC. So back away now. You could just burn the Uvu. But I think in his mind, he's like, nah, if I just keep amassing scouts, this is fine because he has no military buildings right now. So what's the solution for Uzukote? Turtle. Just full on turtle. He builds even more outposts now. And he's still bringing more scouts. This is so entertaining. I just haven't seen this before. I've seen the spearman spam, sure, but not scout rushing. And yeah, they turn around for the Uvu. He's like, okay, you can repair the outpost, but what about this? Your Uvu's in flames. Boom. And remember, he raised this, so he gets wood and gold for doing so. And what is this? What's it? Yeah. So D.Va, look at the food generation. Look at his income per minute. Meanwhile, Uzukote, even though he's slowly killing these scouts, he's wasting so much time doing so every time he has to garrison into the TC and into the outpost. So the effect is just there. D.Va is scaling his economy. Meanwhile, Uzukote isn't really covering. Now he goes back in. He's like, okay, you wanted to construct this? I'm afraid that's a banned action, sir. I can't allow it. There's so many scouts. And now he's also producing into the early horsemen. Is he switching over completely? Yeah, he is. So I think one's scouts and one's horsemen, maybe? Which is a kind of cool concept, because then you can harass his eco while still burning his buildings, right? Unless it was a misclick. That's also a potential option. I think he has enough food income that he can actually support horseman spam now, though. And Uzukote doesn't have a salute. Like, what's his current resources? He almost has enough for a tech up. When and where are you going to tech up, though? He's just burning all your buildings. He's even going for the Gur. Oh, my goodness. And he's going to try and snipe the build-up of the Uvu. Yep, just wraps around again. So he gets out of the TC range because it's causing brutal damage to his scout line. But he'll just turn around and burn the Uvu again before it can complete. Oh, this is so dirty. Why is this working? More scouts. This is so douchey. So the Uber's gone. Another 50 gold and 50 wood. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm pretty sure there's no advantage, by the way. Like, scouts don't get any advantage. So yeah, sorry, not wood. Food and gold. But yeah, they don't get any advantage to do with scouts, right? It's just they get access to the horsemen. So it's not like this is some specialist strategy that is being done because scouts are stronger. It's simply because he's producing 2 of them each time. And remember, no faction would tend to do this. Why, you ask? Very simple. I'll answer you happily. Because we don't get access, like other factions don't get access to stables in the first tier. And you're not going to use your TC to build scouts. So this is an exclusive Mongol rush action that he's doing. And now with this many scouts, he's actually going to be able to burn down these outposts. Even with the TC being garrisoned by 17 workers right now. So the outpost goes down, backs away, moves straight across the other outpost. Should be able to burn this one. There is a tech up attempt by Uzukote, but he's running out of things to hide behind. This is the crazy part, right? Like, these guys don't necessarily kill villagers fast. They kill buildings fast, though. So the counter really would be to have a few spearmen. Like, then these scouts are worthless. Instead, Uzukote is just trying to turtle up with buildings, but he's kind of getting away with it. The Deer Stone is almost complete. And once he gets there, then he builds Magadai, and all of a sudden, D.Va's whole strategy falls apart. That being said, he is teching up as well. Okay. So D.Va is keeping pace. This is so impressive. If you actually think, like, if we were to get a breakdown of investment in certain units, and we saw how much money went, or food rather, went into scout production, it has to be like over 1,000 now, right? Like, he's had over 20, and they cost 60 each. So he's invested over 1,000 food into this strategy. It doesn't stunt the growth, as Uzukote does tech up, but the fact is he's kept up in his own income that he's been able to also produce and generate enough food and gold to go up to Tech 2 as well. He will be a little bit behind, but remember the difference is that there's been no buildings military-wise built for Uzukote. That's about to change, though. But now, the pasture sniping as well. He just won't stop. And I believe he's coming... Yeah, he's coming full for the outpost construction. He wants to get the Yam. That's the thing, right? Well, not the Yam. The Deer Stone gives the effect, though, right? Yeah. So he'll get access to the Speed Aura, and then he can move quicker in and out. Both of them will have it, though. Remember, both of them went for Deer Stones. So, is that 19 scouts? He's got 19 scouts. He could actually start building Magadai in a sec. And then boom, you know, like you have your meat shield while your Magadai kill stuff, right? And he's trying to build the Uvu again. He just won't let him. There is another one he could build further back, the stone outcropping, but there's a reason he's not. It's because he's built an outpost here. Like, this has no defenses. If you build an Uvu here, it's completely defenseless. I just can't believe this is working. Can I, in good faith, put this up on YouTube? Do we really, like, we already had the douching that came out from the town centering, right? Do we really want this as well? Does the world need scout rushing from Mongols? Oh, God. And he's going in again. Yeah, he's trying to stop the outpost from going down. He did construct it, but look how many outposts he's building. Billy's going to be forced fully back. He can actually just burn these down instantly. Yep. Turns around, throws out mollies. Like 3 salvos of mollies and it's done. And this is like 50 food, 50 gold each time if he does it. Doesn't want to lose too many of his lads. He's just happy with the fact that like all these workers are not working right now. Builds his own outpost again. Occasional early horsemen also being brought out. No sign of Magadai yet, as he hasn't committed to an archery range, so he can't get access to that. His opponent can, remember? But because he's on the defensive, Uzuko isn't building Magadai. It's just too pricey. Instead, he's actually going to the archers that are much cheaper. If you think about it this way, like you're getting 3 for the same price, right? It's 30 food, 50 wood, compared to 120 food and 40 gold. Scout's charging again, just stopping the outpost every time. And it's 50 gold and food for even unfinished structures. So now he's going to try and stop the goat production because then there's no easy food nearby for Uzukoti. So that's also gone. Another 50 food and 50 gold. He does lose the Khan, but he's making this profitable. Resource-wise, still looking good. The food is now an issue. Like, look at Uzukoti. He has next to no food. And he has barely any sheep to harvest. And a barracks is going down now. He needs some sort of front line. Even with these archers, like, you need something to put between you and the scout army. Oh, God. All right, forward archer ranges route as well. So he's like, anything you do, I can do too. And these scouts, this is the other stupid part, right? You just want a unit in these buildings. It's the second cheapest unit you could get to put in a building. Villages are cheaper, but obviously you can only produce them one way. So you pay 10 food more for something that can garrison these outposts and just snipe back and forth. This is just so silly. It's so silly. Remember, these raids in are quicker, and he's losing less troops because of it, right? Because of the Yam movement speed. 15% extra movement speed, bringing these scouts up to 1.87. So he very quickly gets in and raises structures, even when there's a massiment of outposts and several archers here, right? Compared to before, he's probably losing 2 or 3 less scouts every time he goes in. And, oh my God, does he know about this? So he assumes his opponent has expanded elsewhere because no one's been mining gold. He has eyes on this. And he's rapping for the Gur. He forces him off the gold completely. Uzukoti only has a finite amount of gold to work with, so he can't even get ultra-quality units, and he's going to lose the Gur. It's another 50 gold on food for Diva. And I'm pretty sure Uzukoti is going to be the dramatic Diva at this rate. Because this has to be getting so annoying. Expansions continue for Diva, by the way. Income just exceeding in every regard what Uzukoti has, so the scout spam will never stop as he continues to renew them. And he forces the whole garrison back. And there's no wood here either, guys. This is the other thing. Look, there's no wood anymore. So he has to move out. The only thing he can gather in front of his base anymore is food. That's literally it. Everything else he has to go far out for. So he's building a Gur far behind. But if this gets scouted, which I wouldn't be surprised if Diva goes looking for it in a sec, then he's going to probably lose another Gur, maybe 1 or 2 villages, and his whole expansion is going to be stopped again. He just doesn't have the archer count right now. It's just still continuing. So yeah, archers being built in the meantime by Diva as well. So he's actually he's matching the archer count, I think. Yeah, piece for piece. But he has this Zerg of scouts that will just force priority onto them instead of your archers, right? And also, keep in mind, there's so many scouts here, he can just go in and actually burn buildings instantly. I don't know why. What the hell? Okay, that's... Anyone know what that's about? I just double-clicked and look, 13 scouts, 17 scouts. It's 30 scouts total, right? These are all scouts. They all get selected the same. But it shows in 2 different groups down here on the UI. I'm not sure what that is about. You know what? Actually, now that I figure out, I think it's that one is the double production units and the other one is the single production units. That's what I'd imagine it is. Yeah, he's just still garrisoned here with the outposts. It's so annoying. Look at all these villages. Like, they can't do anything else but gather this food. That's the only thing they can do. So Uzukodi is gathering more food right now, but that's literally it. So now this Gur, by the way, got spotted moving away. Where are you going, little Gur? Where are you going? Because now we've got battering rams. We just constructed them. That's what the archers were really for. Charge in. There's just too many scouts for the spearman. He's backing up too much. These outposts are going to be burnt quick. The battering ram plus the burn from the scouts. And he's making so much money from doing this as well. The charge in is just too strong. Diva. It's just overwhelming. This Zerg factor is too strong. Uzukodi has barely any military presence. His defensive structures are being burnt. His military production buildings are all but gone. His village line has retreated far away from the base. But even a fully garrisoned TC is no match for the overwhelming scout army. And this, man, I'm going to have to reflect. Do I post this? I don't even know if I want people to know about this. The scout rush from Mongols is just goddamn disgusting.